just imagine kicking you out of the house in Rwanda, actually out of the Airbnb that you paid. You know, they always say that all that glitters is not gold. I really felt that saying that day. Rwanda is a very beautiful country. As a country, I really loved it. Kigali is a very beautiful city. I felt so unwelcomed. I felt a lot of things at that moment. Imagine like arriving in a country and you feel like you wanna go. Like, I was supposed to spend 2 weeks in that country, but I ended up spending 1 week, you know. Good morning, everybody. Wherever you're watching me from, hope you're having a smooth, lovely, beautiful morning. Yo, we are up to episode 1, and guess which country we're starting with? Yay! We're starting with Rwanda. Rwanda. Should I even start this story? Like, guys, I faced a lot of challenges in Rwanda, which is crazy. Knowing that I had good times and I had a few challenges. You know, just imagine kicking you out of the house in Rwanda, actually out of the Airbnb that you paid. Someone kicks you out. Imagine. I was like, oh my god, like, is this how Rwandan people are, or it's just one person who is doing this, you know? Anyway, so let's start our story time. Rwanda was one of the country which was on my bucket list, but for some reason I kept on skipping it. But that day, that month of October in 2022, I was like, I'm going to Rwanda. And I remember that time I took a bus, a night bus. I arrived in Rwanda in the morning, like at around 6-7, around there. But then I had booked an Airbnb before I left Uganda. I booked an Airbnb, and I was supposed to, as you all know, that most Airbnbs you check in at 2, you know. But at that time, I didn't have where to go. So I texted this guy. I was like, hey, how are you? Can I just come and just sit maybe in the couch? Because me, most times when I travel, I just get shared Airbnbs whereby you share a kitchen, you share a living room, you know, because it makes my life easier. When I arrive in a country earlier, maybe I can text the host, then I go and maybe sit in the living room and wait for a few hours, you know. So that's what I did. The guy was like, yo, it's okay, it's fine. So I arrive. He gave me directions and everything. I took the directions, and I remember I went with the border. I arrived, I chilled a little bit. I arrived like at around 8. I had to go and look for breakfast. I got breakfast, and then I waited from 8. I took a nap in the couch. I waited from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 until the check-in time at around 2. So this host comes and tells me that, hey, my guest is gonna be checking out at around 4. And I'm like, yo, you told me that I'm gonna be checking in at 2. Why are you telling me that I'm supposed to check in at 4? For me, that was so weird, you know, because at the website, his Airbnb was like, you're supposed to check in at 2. But anyway, I took it easy. I was like, it's okay. So I had to wait from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I waited, and then they came and cleaned and everything, and I was watching everything, and then the guy checked out at 4, and then I checked in at 4, you know. My dear friends, that Airbnb, it was leaking. I remember that day, that evening, it rained cats and dogs, and it was leaking. The water was coming straight from the iron sheets to the bed. And on top of that, the toilet was stinking. So I was like, you know what? I was like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'm so tired. Guys, when you're traveling, sometimes you need a nice, refreshing place, most especially if you have long travel bus days. You just want to arrive in a nice place, relax, chill with a nice bed, clean. Like, you just, I think that is like a refreshment, guys. If you're a traveler, if you're a backpacker, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, so I was like, no, me, I can't sleep here. I was like, the bed is leaking, the bed is all wet. I started looking for this guy, the host. I couldn't find him. I tried calling him. He couldn't answer his calls. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave. I left. At that moment, imagine, I had nowhere to go. I had to look for a hotel. The hotel that I got, I was supposed to pay like, I paid like 30 bucks. For some reasons, hotels in Rwanda are so expensive. I paid 30 bucks, $30. So I called, I got a border with my bag. Imagine, I arrived in Rwanda at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I'm going through all this crap. So I had to find a hotel, like a chap hotel. At that time, it's raining cats and dogs. Oh my God, in Rwanda, people don't speak English. Imagine, directions were so hard. And I'm like, oh my God, like I was losing it. I arrived, and then the guy was like, no. Let me tell you guys, do you know this place whereby on booking.com, they look so nice, they look so classy, but when you arrive at the place, and I don't know which kind of people give good reviews to such places, because when you read other reviews, they are good, and then you're like, okay, I found a place where to sleep. But my dear friend, when you arrive there, like, oh, I'm like, what kind of people sleep here and give good reviews? Guys, please, if you sleep in a place and you don't like it, give a bad review so that it helps someone else, you know. Me, I always give a review. If a place is bad, I give a review, because I don't want someone to go through what I went through, you know, because it's so irritating, it's so annoying, that hotel. And then outside, it was so nice, clean, with a nice garden. And then guess what? They took me in, is it a dungeon? Let me call it a dungeon. That's where I ended up, in a dungeon. And the room was smelling cigarettes, alcohol. I'm like, what did I do to come to Rwanda? Imagine I took a bus from Kampala at 6. I took a bus from Kampala at 6 p.m. I arrived in Rwanda at 7 a.m. So from 6 p.m. of the last day until now, 6 p.m., I'm still struggling. Hey, oh God. Guys, even like the bus, even I'd forgotten really about the bus part. The bus part, is it the Trinity bus? It's not comfortable. I don't know, like, people really give good reviews about it, that it's comfortable. It's what? It was the worst. Like, I'm like seriously, I don't want to speak bad about Rwanda, but I had a very bad welcoming in Rwanda, to be honest. Like, I had a very bad one. And then I'm like, at this point, I'd already given up. I'm like, it's late, and I'm in the country where, like, you have to haggle around with people. And on top of that, I find Rwandan people so reserved. Like, if you've ever been to Rwanda, like, I don't know if it's only me who experienced that. I find that Rwandans are so reserved. Like, I don't know why. Like, I find them so reserved. Like, there is a way how they do things. I was like, you know what? I have to just sleep in this room. So I was like, let me sleep in this room. And then I booked another Airbnb that same night. One is the one that they chased me out. Stay tuned for part 2. If you want to know how it went down, how I was just out by a Rwandan lady, out of an Airbnb that I paid.